Section 1.1 is nice and short. We're just looking at x and y intercepts. So for the first one here, we're supposed to estimate the x and y intercepts from the graph. So the x-intercept is where we cross the x-axis. And so that looks like it's at about 3. And we write that as 3, 0, because it's where x is 3 and where y is 0. And then the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis, and that looks like it's at about 3. So we write that as 0, 3, because we are where x is 0 and y is 3. Same thing here, the x-intercepts would be here and here, so it looks like there's 2 of them. We have one at -2, -2, 0, and another at 2, 0. And then the y-intercept looks like it's about down on -4, so that's at 0, -4. There we go. Okay. Now, when we've got an equation and we want to identify the x and y intercepts, then what we do is, if you'll notice back here, again we said that when we had an x-intercept that the y value was 0. When we had a y-intercept, the x value was 0. So if we want to find an x-intercept, then we're going to plug in where y is 0. So we've got plugging in 0 for y, we have 0 minus x squared equals 9. So that gives us x squared equals -9. Well, that's not possible. So what that means is that there is no x-intercept. As far as the y-intercept, we plug in where y is 0. Or where x is 0, excuse me. So we have this. And so that just gives us y equals 9. So there is a y-intercept at 0, 9. For example, 4, same deal. To find the x-intercepts, we plug in where y is 0. Subtract 2 from both sides. And this time we have a situation where we've got an absolute value, and you can't have an absolute value equal to a negative number. So there are no x-intercepts. To find the y-intercepts, ooh, that's supposed to be an x right there. To find the y-intercept, then we plug in where x is 0. So we have the absolute value of 3, which is 3, and 3 plus 2 is 5. So your y-intercept is at 0, 5. Same deal. Last example. So for this one, let's see. So to find the x-intercept, again, we plug in 0 for y. So well, 0 plus 3 is 3, and 3 squared is 9. So that's what we've got there. If we subtract 9/4 from both sides, then 1 minus 9/4 is negative 5/4. need to move that over. Okay, and then we can multiply both sides by 9. And we can cross multiply, so we get 4x squared equals negative 45, and then divide both sides by 4, and x squared is negative 45 divided by 4. Well, you can't take the square root of a negative number, at least not in the real case, so there are no x-intercepts. The y-intercepts plug in where x is 0. Okay, so 0 squared over 9 is just 0. And I'm going to go ahead and multiply by 4. So we have y plus 3 squared equals 4. Take the square root of both sides. And so we have y plus 3 equals positive or negative the square root of 4, which of course is 2, positive or negative 2. So we've got two situations. We've got where y plus 2 equals negative 2 and where y plus 2 equals positive 2. So in both cases, subtract 2 that's 3. Sorry about that. 3. So y plus 3 equals negative 2, and y plus 3 equals positive 2. So y is equal to negative 5, and y is equal to negative 1. So we have two y-intercepts, one at 0, negative 5, and another at 0, negative 1. And that concludes this lesson.